Thanks for reminding me how old I am.
Gene, this isn't the Middle Ages. You're not going to die tomorrow of the plague. Oh, wait. I'm just kidding. Not that I think you're going to die of the plague.
For some reason, we got on I mentioned blue light specials like at Kmart.
Yeah, I'm texting my mom about it.
And so you're asking your mom. You remember Kmart, but you don't necessarily remember the blue light specials.
I remember seeing the commercials for them, but everywhere I lived, like I said, I even remember Gibson's, like when it was still a thing.
Okay, now we didn't have, where I grew up, we didn't have Gibson's.
See, and I think that's what we had. That was a whole thing. Anywhere I lived, we didn't really have a Kmart. I remember being in one once or twice, but we had Walmart, we had Sears, we had Gibson's, we had Homeland.
Yeah.
Granted, Homeland's more like Fenn's. It's like a proper little grocery store.
Well, where I grew up in Iowa, we had Kmart. Mm-hmm. We had Farm and Fleet.
Oh, hey. Oh, yeah.
Which would be like Tractor Supply.
I got
So we had Farm and Fleet, which was for the farmers and the truckers.
Right.
Farm and Fleet. We eventually got a Target, which was kind of a cool thing.
Oh, I love Target.
And then we had
I'm so glad we don't have it in Artesia because I would probably go for it.
Sure. And then we had our own little locally owned discount store called Paul's Discount Store.
We had an S&S. I grew up with an S&S in Clovis, and we had Kmart. And I want to say like one of like the bigger store buildings shut down, then reopened as La Fonda. It's not the restaurant, it's like the grocery store. So there was one of those. And I can't recall the name of the store in Portales because it's still there. But it was like one of the older grocery stores, but they have a tortilleria inside. Mm-hmm. And so the ladies, like if you catch them right, like it was a big thing in college, like you go in and they would like make them right there and have fresh tortillas. And so that was really awesome. But I remember living not too far from the S&S, and we were always in there getting stuff.
Yeah. We even had I think, was it a John Deere store? That they had and it wasn't the implement store. Okay. Because there was the implement store for the farmers, but then there was they had a retail store, and I had a John Deere bicycle. Oh. My first multi-speed bicycle was a John Deere. And I can't remember if it was a 3-speed or a 10-speed.
That's really cool.
No, actually, so my husband's dad, they actually do tractor pulls and stuff like that, but his dad lives in Garden City, Kansas.
We had tractor pulls where I grew up. That was the big thing at the 4th of July, and you always knew when they were going on.
My family was more, yeah, I know,
pull
right?
that slide along there.
Oh, yeah, and I actually got to announce a few of them, and I kept trying to, crack jokes, and either people couldn't hear me over the tractors, or they was just ee.
We couldn't hear you.
Cricket.
Yeah.
But no, his grandfather actually has some old John Deere bicycles that look really neat and stuff. But there is another store, and I cannot think of the name of it. It's in Wichita. I know there's a location in Wichita Falls, but my Uncle Tim calls it the Redneck Walmart.
Redneck Walmart.
And it's kind of like Tractor Supply on steroids a little bit, or maybe just a really big Tractor Supply store.
I'll ask our sales manager because he's from Wichita Falls.
Yeah, there you go.
He grew up
I cannot think of the name unless it's just not open anymore, but I do remember it because...
I'll have to see if I can also ask our friend Whitney, who does the art. She's from Wichita.
Yeah, that's true.
No, Wichita. The difference in Wichita Falls, Texas.
I know, I have to remember to say Wichita Falls because that's where I was born, and people think I'm from Kansas if I just say Wichita. Now, if you're in Texas, most people know you're talking about.
Right.
Texas.
Right. Yeah, it's north of Dallas-Fort Worth near the Oklahoma state line, not too far from Oklahoma.
It's like 45 minutes, I think.
Yeah, there was an Air Force base, and stuff like that. Anyway, Lindsey's here, and Candace is here from the Ocotillo, and we're going to do an update on what's happening over there, not, olden days retail.
But that's always so fun to go about those talks and segue into what we have going on, so that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So... Our big thing
How are you guys doing?
We're doing good. Right now, we're helping out Main Street in the Art and Cultural District with Red Dirt, Black Gold.
Okay.
So I have been doing the vendors, and we're full on vendors.
Oh,
so
okay. Excellent.
It's going to be real exciting there. But we are still pulling for food trucks. So if you know someone with a food truck, get a hold of Elizabeth Jackson or Ashley Mason. She's handling the food trucks. Hit us up on the Facebook page or the website. The application is online.
Food food trucks out there.
Yeah. So we can still have some room for food trucks.
But all the vendors are
full.
Full. Okay.
Yeah.
How many vendors are you going to have?
So we have, if I think about it right, about 15 to 16 vendors. Yes. And I have to think about it because all of our spots are full, but some vendors have multiple booths.
Gotcha.
Spaces. But we have a pretty good number of vendors, and they're going to be selling some fun stuff. Everything from 2 sets of very differently decorated skulls. One's our Artist of the Month that we've talked about, Justin. The other one's Kara Boyce, where she does the glammed cow skulls.
She has actually also been one of our Artists of the Month. And hey, if you want to look at pictures of his skulls, I finally got pictures up on
online.
Where are they at? On our Facebook page. Yeah.
Facebook. Now, what is Facebook? Is that anything like MySpace?
I wish. Man, I miss MySpace. Let's not go down that hole because I'm a MySpace kid. And I will talk to you for days about how you just make your MySpace perfect and you have to have the perfect angles on your pictures. It's a whole mood.
Well, those are called selfies nowadays.
Yeah, they're selfies, but first they were MySpace angles.
Yes.
Jumping back here, I finally found the name of that store, and it's an Atwoods.
Atwoods.
Atwoods. My Uncle Tim calls that the Redneck Walmart.
The Redneck Walmart.
That's great. Atwoods.
Okay.
I'll have to look that up. So we have Red Dirt Black Gold. We're really excited about it.
So when you say the pictures on the website is on the Facebook page, is this the Artesia Arts Council?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Very good. All right.
And make sure it's the one with the Art in the Park logo with the color burst in the tree.
Well, I don't think we had that problem last time.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens here.
Yeah.
That's it right there. Artesia Arts Council. And then there's somebody that's different. That's not yours.
Right.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm sorry. I'll bring it up here.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, so he's bringing up the pictures. So we've got that. So Justin will also be at Red Dirt Black Gold. And just to get other things before she goes on about our wonderful Artists of the Month out of the way, we are still taking applications for our vendors and artists for Art in the Park as well as food trucks.
Okay.
And we're getting a pretty steady stream of those in so far. It's been pretty great. I think it's going to be a really great event.
It's going to be fun. It's lots of fun. So again, it's 2 days. You can choose just do Saturday, but it's going to be Friday and Saturday, October 15th and 16th. And look forward to food and music and just a wonderful time this year at our 46th annual Art in the Park.
46th annual. Ignore the fact there wasn't one during COVID.
There was. It was called Market in the Park, so we got around the guidelines, but it was Art in the Park.
Okay. All right. Well,
yeah.
Either way, I think people are giving a pass on annual, meaning you missed a year, whether you did or didn't because of COVID. So.
Yeah. So even though we're still kind of monitoring what's going to happen with guidelines, but we're still full force in the planning. So don't let that scare you away.
Okay. Very good.
Then I will let Lindsey talk all about Justin and his artist reception and all of that fun jazz.
Yeah. Okay. So Justin, if you guys remember, was on here with me last week. Mm-hmm. Before my time gets away from me, and I'm thinking it was like 2 weeks ago because that would happen to me. He is still hanging out in the lobby, guys. You guys should really come check out his artwork. Let's get some traffic up there in the lobby, and I absolutely love his stuff. If I can talk him out of the one that's called Masks Off because it's my favorite. It reminds me of Phantom of the Opera.
Okay.
I thought it would be a really great addition to our private collection. And he will be out there at Red Dirt Black Gold. He's also going to have his stuff out at Art in the Park. And I do believe that he was contacted by the folks from Carlsbad that we sent his name to for their Heritage Fest.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. So the
he's
Heritage
planning on
Fest.
doing that September 18th.
Yes, but before she forgets, on the 27th, August 27th at 6 p.m. is his artist reception.
Oh, okay.
So, of course, you'll see him during the days, during the day for Red Dirt Black Gold and on Art in the Park. But if you really want to just talk to him about his artwork, kind of be able to look at it without people milling around, that is the day to come in and see him and see what we have up before he removes it to take to Red Dirt Black Gold.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then after Red Dirt Black Gold, his stuff will be transferred to the 510 gallery under Elizabeth's purview, and we'll get it set up down there, and he will
you guys want the info for his
be available for the next month,
for the next
September.
month, yeah, for people to look at. If people are interested in his work, you can contact him or us, and we can set you up with.
Now, have you named your artist in residence for September?
Not yet, but I do have a lead on a really awesome artist that paints on a variety of different. Like I've seen some of the stuff that he's done on rock, on like he does a huge variety of things, and he's actually a friend of one of my husband's coworkers.
Okay.
Apparently, my brain decided to glitch this morning. Wow, 404 blue screen error. Death.
Yeah, so we're working on our lineup. We do have some wonderful artists who have also approached us or that we've met in passing to line up the rest of our year.
Okay.
So if you guys are interested in, we have 2 months where we do contests, which we will not feature artists of the month. That will be probably November and then March. But if you are interested in being our artist of the month, we have a wide variety of, I'm not just like, it's got to be a specific type of art form. Show me what you got. I've got a friend who does game design. That counts. Just about any art form. If you want to come show off your stuff. Now for Artist of the Month, this has to be like original artwork. Or if it's a reproduction of something else, then we usually don't sell it because you have to have like copyright for that. But
Sure.
But we have had examples of art that was reproduced in a different format, like my friend Joanne, for instance, who does these absolutely amazing quilts. She's also been our Artist of the Month, and she was showing me some new stuff, so I may holler at her and see if she wants to do it again, because she really did amazing stuff. But she did Girl with a Pearl Earring, and I want that one so bad because
on a quilt.
it's so beautiful.
On a quilt.
On a
okay.
quilt, yeah.
On a quilt.
Okay, so, but if you haven't picked one yet, but if you know someone that you think would be a good candidate to be the artist,
send them my
in
way.
residence,
Give us a call at 575-746-4212, or you can email me at admin.assistant@artesiaartscouncil.com.
Yes.
That sounds great. So if you want to see the skulls that are in there now, they're now through the end of the month, and then or up until Red Dirt Black Gold happens and all that.
And we are currently also kind of working out our classes, so we should be starting those like September, October. We do have
Max Salgado is doing his drum and guitar lessons now, though.
Okay.
So if people are interested for that.
We are bringing Alexis Young. That's right. No, oh my gosh, if I got her last name wrong, she's gonna kick my butt.
Now I can't think of it because now you've said it and that's all that's in my brain.
Yeah,
but no, our dance instructor Alexis will be coming back as well.
Okay, our dance instructor Alexis. That's how you say that. So,
yeah.
then you don't get in
Alexis,
trouble.
she's gonna kick
now
my
let
butt.
me ask you this, because I asked Carol about it when she was here before. Our wonderful governor spoke yesterday.
Yes.
And talked
It's
about
fierce.
mask mandates indoors. So, what will be your policy at the Ocotillo Theater for folks that want to come in and visit with you guys in order to be in compliance with all the things that the governor is asking us to do?
With that, I do believe on the fact of if you feel safer wearing your mask, wear your mask. I'm not going to have like a heart attack if you come in and you left your mask at home or you don't have it.
We are going to have ours on standby. We don't have a ton of traffic coming through there like most days. Usually people come in during the big events or for things like to kind of come check out the art. But yes, as Candace said, I kind of feel like it's more up to the discretion. We're around each other, like not even just at work. I mean, Candace is my best friend. We hang out together. We play games together. We do a lot of stuff together. We had dinner last night, so there you go. But so we're pretty much around the same people. And so we're not going to be wearing masks in our office because it's just us two. But we do have them on standby. Like I wore mine today because I did have to go to Walmart, and I just kind of felt like, just in case.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, because I know at the city we're starting to hear some of their, and you're not a part of the city, you're independent.
We're our own nonprofit.
Own nonprofit, but cities and senior centers and doctors' offices and hospitals and schools, everybody's
they have
having
to.
to put some things out.
Yeah. Now, if we had more of a staff, I think we would try to adjust it a little bit differently. But really, there's not a lot of people, more than often than not, we're open. People come in to drop off applications. At any given point in time, we might have 3, 4 people at one time in the building. So...
Yeah, well, I just wanted to
genuinely,
people to be aware of what will be what the situation is.
Yes.
Now, things like the art in the park, That's an outdoor event.
Yeah, it's an outdoor event.
So there's no mask requirements there yet.
Mandates that have been put out for outdoor events,
Right.
but we will be keeping an eye on that so that we are able to let vendors know that, and for Red Dirt Black Gold, because we've had that question too, like what's going to happen. And so as soon as we know, we will let everybody know. But
well, as it is right now, there's not.
Well, and we do have the option if people come in, we have pump, hand sanitizer and stuff, like our bathrooms. We've had people come in and clean on a regular basis. So, we're doing our best to make sure that the building stays clean. Granted, I mean, if you've ever walked into our lobby, that floor just, we can mop it and it's like, oh my gosh, it's clean. And then one person walks across there and then it's like, well, so much for that.
We do live in New Mexico, so that's
right.
expected.
Surprised you haven't set out the levitating skateboards yet, so they can just levitate across the
Probably because there'd be an injury with us. Not anybody else, but I will tell you, I'd step on that and probably just fall right off. So
yeah, considering what happened with a chair the other day. So we finally got office chairs. That was really exciting for both of us. And I mean, it was the first massive Amazon order that we did, because we needed new office chairs. We were sitting in these kitchen counter height.
So the funny is that I sat down in said chair and the leg popped off. Not that it made me feel like, is this a weight issue or what happened? The old chair. The old chair.
The old chair.
So I was like, well, now we actually have to buy new chairs, because now we're seriously down a chair.
Well, and I mean, and we have an ongoing joke, and it's like a joke, I think, just in the performing arts community, that every performing arts venue, especially if it was an old building, has to have a ghost. So occasionally, I joke about, oh, Estelle, you minx, you
we had a ghost in at the station I worked at in Mississippi. We had a ghost. It was the ghost of the former owner, or the previous owner. And I remember being up there at night, and at that particular point in time, that station went off the air at sunset, so it wasn't on the air.
Right.
So if I went to the office at night, it was very, very quiet, and so I could hear the ghost.
Oh, geez.
Doing his stuff.
Do his stuff. And I would go out and talk to the ghost and say, Noel was his name. I'd say, Noel, I said, I'm here to help the station. I'm here to do good. Please don't be mad at me or anything. So I had a nice relationship with our ghost.
No, Lindsey, frustrated the ghost. I think one day she just kept popping off all day, and then she left early. And I was like, okay.
And to be fair, when she says popping off, saying things like, oh man, Estelle, you little stinker, because I don't know. And to be fair, I'm really forgetful, and I misplace things all the time. I don't know how many times it's
she blames the ghost. Yeah, so I don't think the ghost liked that particularly that day. So I'm in there minding my own business in the office, and off pops a painting off the wall. No reason for it to have popped off. No one's been near it. No one's touched it.
So the ghost visited you.
Yeah, and it was like, you tell that girl to stop. Boop, off the wall. And I was like, Lindsey.
I'd already been off work for about 30 minutes that day, and I get a text, and she's like, Lindsey, you need to stop talking about the theater.
Now, I don't think there's a ghost here in this building. I have not, even though Dave...
How old is this building?
Well, the station moved into this building in '68.
Okay, so it's definitely...
And so it was something in it beforehand, but this has been basically what you see has been this since 1968. So it has not had any major renovations or changes or anything like that. So, and I knew Dave, and Dave, came by, and Dave passed away. So if he is haunting the station, I knew Dave, and so I think Dave is okay. Now, I can't speak for somebody that comes along after me.
Yeah.
If me or Dave will come back and say, what are you doing?
You decide to be like, I need to spend my ghostly time checking out where I used to work today. Yes.
I don't know. That's an interesting thing. Where if you did have that opportunity and you would go haunt one of your former jobs, which former job would you go and haunt?
Well,
see, that's really hard.
Plant, because
I'm sorry?
I don't know. That could be fun. So my first job straight out of college, I got really lucky. I worked for the U.S. Department of Agriculture as a meat grader.
Okay.
So if you see the certified Angus beef, that's certification that I had done previously. And Prime Choice and Select, our job was to look at the carcass and then stamp it for whatever the marbling was. And so I kind of think, part of me is nah, that'd be kind of boring, but at the same time, it would be kind of funny, the night shift, to just go through there and just make all the carcasses move in the hot box. I wouldn't even be cold because I'd be dead.
Yeah, but there'd have to be somebody there to see that when you did that. I mean, it'd be no fun if you didn't.
I would be the theater ghost.
the theater ghost?
I would become the theater ghost.
I would rather be the theater ghost.
That'd be fantastic.
And then there'd be a painting up on the wall
or random music all the time because we're always singing.
Random music. That would be interesting.
It's like karaoke central all the time up in there.
Yeah.
She actually scared the crap out of me. Was that yesterday or the day before?
It was not intentional. She went through the theater to turn off the lights through the stage, and then she was in the dark, and I was like, why did you do that instead of going all the way to the back? Because there's a very back button to turn off all the lights as you exit the stage area.
Yeah.
And so she did it from the front. So she's like, I'm in the dark. And so I was trying to open the door for her with a flashlight because all the lights were off, and it banged against the pole that's right there behind it, and it scared the pants off of her. It was hysterically
funny. And we were talking the whole time, but and I was like,
yeah, but the ghost of the theater. So.
And it's like, if you hear my voice, I'm not an incredibly high-pitched female, but I definitely sounded like I was about 6 years old at that point.
Yeah.
That would be a little nerve-wracking if you don't expect something like that. I'm trying to think who I would haunt if I had the opportunity to do so, and I don't know. I left on good terms everywhere I left, so I don't know.
Well, just be as a fun thing.
Oh, yeah.
Not as a malicious thing. So where would you go to, just to be mischievous and have some fun?
Mischievous and have some fun. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. That'll be an interesting...
think about it. We'll ask you next Thursday.
My alma mater could be kind of fun, Tarleton. It's been around since 1899.
Yeah. Well, it'd have to be someplace, too, where you were known.
Mm-hmm.
I was an RA. I was fairly well known.
I mean, if you're not really all that well known, then, it's no big deal. So you got to have some kind of notoriety or fame or some kind of history with the place that people would even later.
Ooh, my old sorority house would be fun.
There you go.
Camp Grady Spruce. It's a YMCA camp out on Lake Possum Kingdom, Texas. Oh man, I would have so much fun.
Yeah. There you go. Well, think about that. All right. So the main thing is we've got the you need. Food trucks for the Red Dirt Black Gold, and we want people to come and see Justin's artwork that's on display at the Ocotillo.
Artist reception is the 27th at 6 p.m.
At 6 p.m. And then if you want to find out more about Art in the Park.
Yes. They can come in, they can call us. It's on Facebook. And hopefully by next month, our website will be live. So then it will be on the website as well.
Then you can get all the information there. And then if you know somebody that would be a good candidate to be artist in residence for September, get a hold of you guys and see. Do we cover? Does that bring us up to date?
Yes.
Okay, good. I know we got distracted by a couple of other topics.
Shopping centers and
the ghosts
and stuff. Yeah.
So good. Well, thank you so much, Lindsey. Thank you. Good to see you again. Candace, good to see you as well. And I'm going to think about who I'm going to haunt.
You have to, and let us know.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah,
we'll have to
It'll
work
be like
on
the
that.
next week's topic of discussion.
Somebody's calling me out on the Facebook, for how old I am.
Oh no!
They're trying to give away my age. I said I don't want to give away my age, but that will then.
But they're like, challenge accepted.
Oh, I saw a video clip last night on the YouTubes. There actually is an honest to goodness Radio Shack store still in business as a Radio Shack store in the United States of America. It's outside of Philadelphia, in Pennsylvania.
That's awesome.
And,
I remember Radio Shack.
And it was, the oddball things that I look at on the internet. So the YouTube's always suggesting these things. So the channel that came up was The Antenna Guy. And it's a guy that talks about TV antennas that you hook up to your TV, and he's a first-class nerd. You can just tell by watching his videos. And he found
a Radio Shack,
the Radio Shack, and went on a video tour of this Radio Shack.
Can you find us a Blockbuster? I love Blockbuster.
There's one.
There is one.
There is one. I don't know if it's the original one, but there's one still left.
I miss that.
But
I miss movie stores. I'm gonna be honest. It must be like a '90s kid thing.
The combination video rentals and bookstores.
Well, there's a lot of things.
Blockbuster was not something that we had around a lot. Where I live.
Well, it's just it's one of those things that a lot of people think Jeff Bezos is a really nice guy, but everything you've bought. Helped him go on his rocket the other day.
Oh, yes.
And he thanked you for it, too. He thanked you. All of the Amazon customers that bought things through Amazon helped fund his
shot into
and the way that
upper
thing
atmosphere.
and to get a little on the border of being censored. methinks he might be compensating for something with the shape of that rocket.
Well, there's been plenty of memes about that.
Yes. Yes. There has been.
All right. We're going to take a break, open up the Zoom room, welcome in Aaron, but thank you so much for coming in. And
of course.
we'll see you guys real soon.
Yes.
All right.